You will never realize what you're worth because of how other people treat you. You will realize what you're worth to them, but you will never realize what you're truly worth based on how others treat you. You will realize and feel how much you're worth based on how you treat yourself. So for many people that have gone through childhood adversities, childhood trauma, or were raised by emotionally immature, toxic, and abusive parents, the sense of worth is really, has been really broken down for us, which means we didn't get a proper view and a proper mirroring and a proper representation of what we're really worth of, because we were not treated in ways that reflected worth. We were treated in ways that actually reflected the exact opposite. We were looked at with anger, with disgust, with hatred. We were dismissed. We were rejected. These horrible and very painful experiences of our childhood were so important and informative for us that they informed us about who we are and what we're worth. So many of you living now, going out in the world, doing things and feeling fundamentally unworthy and thinking the world doesn't value me, they don't see my worth. It is very probable that you may think you're worthy also. You're like, why don't they see my worth? I am worthy. You say it. But really the mere fact that you're chasing it from other people is showing that you don't really know it. But you're going around this world with an image of yourself as someone who is unworthy, because the way you were looked at created a photograph of who you think you are. And you're holding that still frame everywhere and moving your life through it. And I can tell you that you're worthy, and everybody can say you're worthy and you're good enough. It's never going to convince you, because right now you're trying to either convince the world or your parents, right? And you keep trying to go back, you're trying to perform, you're trying to make them happy, you're trying to get their validation, you're sharing your successes, all of those things that you're doing, and they still won't budge. They will still not recognize your worth. Because your worth to them is based on what they're getting out of it. For example, how you look in the world, does it make them proud? Can they capitalize on that idea? Or what are you offering to them? Or how loyal are you? Or how tolerant are you? So the traits that they see as worthy that you would have are possibly things that you would have to do in order to secure some sort of acceptance from them, because you are of value to them. So the more you self-abandon, the more worth you hold for them, and the more you think for yourself, the more they want to toss you. But in any way, even if they're not tossing you or if they're taking advantage of you, what they're telling you is constantly, in either words or actions, is that they don't value you for you. You can't just exist and have value. And that horrible sensation is something you carry within yourself too. When you sit at home, trying to perform, trying to be perfect, or feeling all these feelings, and you're thinking that unless you do something to change how others perceive you, you're not worthy of good things. You're not worthy to enjoy things. You're not worthy to gain things. You're not worthy to feel good. You're not worthy to be loved. And the love that I am specifically talking about here is not the fairy tale romantic type of love. It's the kind of love that we share who we are with people, and people connect with that and accept that and love that. But it is impossible for us to show who we are truly to other people, and therefore impossible to connect fully to them, if we think and truly believe we're fundamentally unworthy. There's no way we will expose ourselves, because if we truly believe we're unworthy, then whoever it is that we're trying to share that with is going to run away, right? Technically, because that's what we did to ourselves. We've been running away from ourselves, trying to turn ourselves into a perfect version of ourselves. So we've taken self-improvement as a thing that we do to establish our worthiness. And we do all of that because we're like, if I do all of that, then I'm going to deserve. It's not like if I do that, they will choose me or I'm going to be better and they will see that only. It's more like I will allow myself to do all that when I deem myself good enough, when I have performed enough, when I have done enough, when I have become perfect enough. So the problem with trying to heal our childhood aftermath is that many of us think that the medicine is out there, somebody else to love us, somebody else to finally see our worth, and then we are healed. But nobody on this planet can convince us of a worth that we don't want to accept that we have. Because we're very stuck in the past thinking, I can't be worthy if my parents didn't see my worth. There's no way. So the only creditable person that can change your perception of worth, technically, as far as your subconscious mind goes, is the person who instilled that sense of no worth in you. Go figure, right? The people who broke us become our fixation because those people who broke us can't fix us by changing what they feel about us so that we finally change what we feel about us, which means we're holding these people to a higher standard than we hold ourselves in our own perception of ourselves. And they continue to be the judges of our worth. So what helps with this process is to begin to see who these people really are, and hopefully no longer have them on pedestals, and hopefully not value their opinion of you. And that's hard because you've based your entire personality, life, and every belief that you have on those people. But taking that zoomed out view of who your parents really were, just chaotic people, traumatized all over the place, incapable of loving their own kids, incapable of respecting their own kids. And maybe you can start thinking about other things that, oh, they kept judging me for this when they were doing that. And when you start seeing it from a different point of view, then slowly you will start thinking and questioning the things that they have said to you. And that's why it is really important for us to visit our past, because it's within our past that we can see these things, right? We have to remember. I remember, for example, my mother told me this thing. She was right. And every time something happens in our lives, we're like, she was right. So, for example, a lot of you, I see it in the reflections that I get from Heal. People like my mom, especially the mom session brings up a lot for most people. And that's just, it makes sense. The mother is such a powerful bond. But they'll say something like, I'll never forget that my mom told me that she thinks I will never amount to anything, or that nobody's ever going to love me, or that she regrets having me, or that I am a mistake, right? Having me was a mistake. And then we internalize, for example, I am a mistake. And then life happens, we're 30, 40, whatever years old, and we're like, my mom was right. I am a mistake. Because we just made a mistake. Which is, thinking about it now is like, wait a minute. This woman who birthed you told you you're a mistake? That's the problem. That is the mistake, and not you. But then here you are, years later, giving her validation and saying she was right to tell me I was a mistake. But really what happened is, since she told you were a mistake, and you believed you're a mistake, everything that you're tolerating in life is based on that belief. And if we think that we're a mistake, we don't have confidence, we don't feel worthy of being in certain rooms, we don't treat ourselves nicely, right? We hate ourselves. So the issue isn't what your mother said, per se, is what your mother made you feel about yourself, and what you believed about yourself, based on what she said. And many of you now may be chasing that mother or trying to get that mother to finally be kind to you. And many of you also, there's some reflections, people are saying, my mother passed and I'm finally free, right? I didn't even cry one tear. I'm finally free, kind of thing. So you're living trapped in that relationship, trying to get her to do all that, which doesn't end when she's gone. The noise ends, but what you believe about yourself because of what she did still stands. The only way that's going to collapse is if you see her for who she was, rather than give her this godlike super validation that whatever she said was actually right. Because she said a lot of messed up things, and she was probably in the wrong for 99% of them. Because let's not forget, you were a byproduct of how she created you to be. She or he, your dad, whatever, right? Your parents. You didn't just exist in that home and create it yourself. You came into that home, and you see some kids that are like bullies, and their parents are being called in the school, and you see the parent and you're like, oh, now I know why the kid is a bully, right? Kids model their parents. So anything that she told you was possibly a projection of herself, seeing those traits onto you and then projecting them onto you, but blaming you without taking responsibility, and then rejecting you rather than guiding you differently, helping you differently, giving you better examples, being kind to you. So the only way you can really start poking holes through those things that are so concrete in you, and you keep coming back to them. Oh, you were right. You were right. She wasn't right. He wasn't right. They were very wrong, actually, to say those things that then became your truths, unfortunately. Which is a little bit hopeful as well, because you're thinking, if I had the power to believe something and that created my entire life of now, what if I believed something different? And that's the sweet spot of healing. We go to the past to see what's up, what happened, and then we start looking at things from a different view, a different perspective, and we start questioning the source of those things, and we start really learning. What's so great about these people, that they have so much authority to judge me about everything, or also find flaws in their parenting, right? There's a reason why they demonized questioning parenting and parents, because it breaks the authority once you do. So we do all of that, and we're like, wait a minute, so possibly the things they said are not true. I believe them as true, but they're not true. But I created a life based on thinking they're true. What kind of life can I create if I don't believe them to be true? And that's where reparenting enters the chat, and you start cultivating with yourself the beliefs and the treatment, basically, that you need then to become the person that you would want to be now. But if you're trying to become the person that you want to be, using the beliefs that these people told you, every time you fail in the process of that, every time you fail in the process of that, you will come back to their beliefs, to what they said, and validate their words, which is quite lengthy research and validating them for a lot of the crap that they said. So if every time that something happens, you're like, oh, my dad was right, I am unworthy. No. If your dad was drunk telling you you're unworthy, or he was just breaking things in the house telling you you're unworthy, and also if he had the nerve to tell his own kid that you are unworthy, there's something wrong with him, because he brought you into this world. If the one person that you should hold value for, the person who thinks you should be the most valuable to them, is the person who brought you here, because you're part of them. You should have held value. So it's a them problem projected onto you. You assumed it, and now you live your life based on that. And you need to stop doing that anymore. Like, it just needs to stop. But you have to be willing to look at these people for who they were. Not to go to them and let's see how we can fix you, to validate yourself. That there was nothing wrong with you to begin with. You have just internalized all the wrongdoing that was done to you as a reflection of your worth. I'll see you soon.